Welcome, beloved awakened one. I'm Monica Bermudez, and this is the podcast of the Ascended Earth, the transfiguration of the new you, the new human. We are an ever-evolving human, learning, growing, expanding, and upgrading. What you are and always will be is a divine, cosmic galactic source from source, more than you can imagine. But not all of us are living to our fullest potential. It is time to embrace what you are and unlock your magical keys and spiritual gifts. This podcast is a transmission of energy codes meant to unlock other dormant DNAs to remember, reconnect, revive, and renew you to the new human, the avatar that you are. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello there, my beloved. This is Monica Bermudez. I'm here in this episode that I want to talk about purpose, about mission, and about your mission and your purpose. And I want to share some techniques to help you to determine and know what your purpose is. So stay tuned for more on some of those techniques that I want to share with you. And some of the things that I've been applying on myself as well. One of the things that triggered me the most when it came to thinking about purpose and mission was when I went through the divorce, and that really, I felt like I had completed certain mission, certain purpose. However, what I was finding was that there's just many layers of both mission or purpose. Now, they're both, somewhat related, but I feel like there's also a distinction between them, and I was journaling about this, so I'll get into some of that as well. And it is, to me, also a level of soul contract. And when I say soul contract, I mean that's something that was agreed with your soul and with Source before coming into this physical body and to this physical reality that we find ourselves right now in this 3D matrix. And I feel that as it's so many of us starseeds and light workers that are one of our biggest collective purpose and mission for being here in this earth at this time is to help shift and break out of this 3D matrix paradigm, which is happening right now as things are dismantling themselves and just restructuring themselves to be systems that are more in favor of the people to be more free and liberated from all aspects, whether that be financial, relationships, also living, having jobs that are more in line to your soul. And that's why so many of the light workers and starseeds are also jumping into certain energetic, entrepreneurial type business that is more energetic type, like healers and so forth, because that is something that was also part of us in previous lifetimes, but also something that we agreed to do when coming onto this earth. So purpose is just, to me, I feel like we're just fulfilling our purpose by being here right now in this physical human form and learning through the different experiences of being a human. And from those experiences that we're learning, we're also gaining a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And that is also being a part of the quantum field of the collective Akashic records of record that serves the quantum collective consciousness, the Christ consciousness. And it also expands our soul and expands the universe because we are all interrelated and interconnected in that way. And as part of our mission, which is I would say it feels like an assignment. It's like this task that you've been asked that that you agreed to do. Actually, it was like a mutual agreement with Source. And it's all linked into the type of abilities that you had in these other star systems that you're bringing to this earth. Now, the challenge was that when we incarnated, for most of us, is that we were sent into this veil, right, of forgetfulness. And so that was part of the challenge, is trying to reconnect ourselves and remember that part of us, the mission that we agreed that we would do, and being the purpose and fulfilling a purpose in different way, in different forms, and how we are to fulfill those assignments through our mission on this earth. So once you got that remembrance part of it, then you are then working towards fulfilling it. And honestly, I don't really think there is any way, like any right or wrong in all of this. And it's just a matter of remembering those aspects of yourself in your own soul level. And I always emphasize the heart a lot because I experienced the heart a lot. And it was through the heart that I gained my remembrance and my awakening, because it is the gateway to the soul. And in that soul is where you're tapping into your most divine ability and remembrance of the mission and the purpose that you're fulfilling here on this earth. And so you have a purpose, and you're always living your purpose by just being. And that's the number one thing to know, that just by being human and just by living and just by being here, you're already fulfilling a purpose. And your mission can be, some levels of passion that you may have, that you feel really resonated to, that you feel so drawn to magnetically, that you just love to do. And that all ties into how your mission is, and what is an assignment that you love to do with passion, the passion of the heart. And so it all starts too with how, we start to open up our heart. Of course, if we're going through grief, if we're going through certain wounds in our hearts and pain, then it is a bit challenging to remember that part of our mission and how we're fulfilling that mission here on this earth. So for that reason, I wanted to jump into some of these techniques, because I wanted to explain first what I meant by when I talk about these things. I know that sometimes we run into all of these doubts and mistrust sometimes when our own guidance is telling us, right? That's why we have guides, because they're guiding us to help us remember that aspect of our own soul contract agreements before incarnating. Now that, the veil is becoming or thinner, or that we are, shifting in consciousness, we're also tapping into our most inner and deepest remembrance of ourselves. And it comes in phases, right? It just feels like this energetic drawnness to want to change your life. And sometimes that may mean quitting your current job because you feel like you don't resonate with it anymore and you have a deeper passion for something. And so there's always, different layers of something. So even if you feel like you have been fulfilling some purpose or some mission before, but all of a sudden it feels like something has shifted and now it feels like you're being drawn to something else, then that means that there is this new assignment that is resurfacing that was engraved in you. And so that's really what happened with me, where I thought that I was already fulfilling that mission, and I was very much into, doing those type of work for the mysticism, organization. And I still am involved with it, but not as active as I was when I was younger, because I felt more called and drawn to do this kind of work of being on public speaking, and like my YouTube and now my podcast, and sharing a lot of the different techniques with others to help with the awakening and the ascension in my own different way, my bringing my own medicine. And so we all come with our own medicine and our own unique abilities in that way. And so I feel like all of us of star seeds and light workers who are here as well are fulfilling that mission too, by helping with some aspect of the awakening and the ascension in our own way, and however that is that we're being called. And so, and also just to say, like, if you find yourself in a job right now, because I know that, we are in this matrix and we still are working in this type of financial system that was set up this way, and it's now starting to dismantle, but it's dismantling for a good reason, for a change, because it's almost like it's been created like this enslavement mode. And so I feel like a lot of that just needs to shift, and it is. And so, but we can always find purpose and meaning and mission, even in the things that we do at work. And that is by making a difference in someone else's, by helping with their own awakening and their own ascension, but in your own way, not being in a forceful way, of course, but just being in that influential way of somehow inspiring someone else by maybe that would spark that questioning, because it is through the questioning also that is also sparking that inner awakening and ascension as well. And so knowing that we are all a reflection of one another, and so in any instance that one may be triggered, which trigger to me is like an activation of some kind, so that is also just starting that spark of that ascension and that awakening. So we are all serving our purpose in that way, in all different ways, by being out here doing our work right now on the earth, on the surface. And so we're calling every and all star seeds and light workers to come and collectively help shift this matrix, because it is through our inner working as well, and how we relay also our energetic, field of energy inwardly, so that it can be magnetized within the quantum field, and it will shift this collective consciousness, so that others can also start to awaken in their own way, in their own path. And that is how this whole world that we grew up with, and how this whole system is starting to crumble, so that it can bring about more freedom for us. So freedom of wealth and freedom of so many things. So let's jump into some of these techniques, some of these exercises. So if you have a journal, or if you don't have it, just come back to this. And when you have a journal, let's work now with your heart, because since that is the emphasis, a lot of, where it all starts. So just feel into your heart, taking a few moments to just connect. As you have your journal, I'm going to ask 3 questions, right? And then we're just going to take a pause. But just know that you can always come back to it and take slower pauses if you like later, if you want to redo this. And it doesn't have to be exact either. So it could be some form of these statements as well, or these questions that are being asked. So tapping into your own heart, let's ask your heart, how am I fulfilling my purpose and mission now? So now just write whatever comes to you. So I'm going to go into number 2. You can always come back to the first question if you need more time and take a pause when needed. The question number 2, what does my heart desire now on purpose and mission? In the third and last question, what is my highest excitement and how can this serve? So those are 3 big questions to get started with knowing your own purpose and your mission, and just trust the information that you're getting. And you can always go back and just keep journaling and going through the layers of remembrance as you journal what your heart is saying, because that is the gateway to your soul. So just feeling that in your heart and knowing and trusting what is coming up for you. And that is how you know that you're fulfilling your purpose. And just know that you already are. So no matter what it is, because your soul knows exactly what it is, just know that you already are serving that purpose by just being here and helping this 3D matrix in your own way to help us all shift into the 5D, 6D, 7D, and going further into the different densities and dimensional aspects of ourselves collectively. And just being here is making a huge difference on this planet in that way. And that way, starting within yourself and the changes that you're making for yourself right now, and how you are, by remembering, is also shifting a lot of the collective consciousness as well. So share your thoughts if you're able to share any comments, of what is coming up for you. And just keep journaling and getting some more information. And I will be connecting with you in another episode. So sending you so much love. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.